that little white bitch on detox, feeling teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a free thot. Should've never let the bitch alone with my seat. My got a bitch skip hip, popping in my Reeboks. Talking about a detox, pussy like a beatbox. All grown up, bitch looking like Salid, not that booty. I need that, I need that, I need that. Little white bitch on detox, feeling teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a free thot. Should've never let the bitch alone with my seat. My got a bitch skip hip, popping in my Reeboks. Talking about a detox, pussy like a beatbox. All grown up, bitch looking like Salid, not that booty. I need that, 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 I need that. Little white bitch on detox, feeling teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a free thot. Should've never let the bitch alone with my seat. My got a bitch skip hip, popping in my Reeboks. Talking about a detox, pussy like a beatbox. All grown up, bitch looking like Salid, not that booty.
Could've been certain, could've been a G. Should've never switched right to the police. Now they're looking at you funny when you're walking down the street, looking at me like fool, trying to see what they can do. Me, I'm like, wallow, what you really want to do? You don't really want to actually behave. Whenever on stage and the million gets made. I need that, 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 I need that.
So here we are. Oh, fuck is that? End of the stream again. Yeah, it's stream again. That's an article. Yeah, so it's for some reason start the stream again. I'm not too sure I've done that. So I'll have to share this up again. But we are in spring quali now. If your video is in portrait, make sure to put it into 720p as always. So here we are. Seeing as we are running a little bit late, we have had to skip the standing section. We watch Lily on her flying up right now. So I will have to run through all of the standings during qualifying. Just get these all updated. Obviously, we do have a full grid, of course. So we're watching Lily into Varianti Villeneuve. She has cut the corner, and that will be the first validation of the day. Let's watch Kelly Boy in the McLaren. An impressive start to the season. Shown some great pace, especially in qualifying. Apologies about the stream restarting. I need to, for next week, I need to get that sorted out because we can't get it. So, Cali Boy into Piratella. Looks nice and tidy. Looks like a very good lap from Cali Boy so far. Into Ackerman Raleigh. Stay as left as possible to get the best exit. Into the trickiest section of the track, in my opinion, Variante Alta. Very easy to go over the white line and invalidate your lap time. Obviously, this is sprint weekend, so this is sprint qualifying. So this is going to set the grid for the sprint race. As Ferret crosses the line first with a 16.5, and James with a 15.4. So a respectable time from James. Mr. James Stoss. As Cali Boy sets a 16.1, which is a pretty good lap time. Rawrenson sets a 16.7. Philip Lamaduk. And Ted on the mediums goes to a Ford. That can't be on the mediums. No way. Absolute. Wow. A 14.7 on the medium compound. That is unbelievable pace from Ted. Lamaduk is now starting his lap time. He's always see a few cars off at turn 1. Yeah, that is unreal from Ted. I really can't believe that. That was our pole time in Tier 2 with all the drivers on the softs. See, yeah, it's unbelievable. They run up the hill into Piratella, slinging left-hander, trying to use as much of the track as possible without running over the white line. Into Ackerman Raleigh. It is Ackerman Raleigh. Ackerman Raleigh. Looks nice from Cali Boy, who is currently sat P7 in the standings. No Cali Boy. Lamaduk. Lamaduk is currently sat in P9 in the standings. Got a few drivers mixed up there. I saw the lovely orange from the Gulf livery and assumed it was a McLaren. He rounds the final regatta. Pedal to the metal, to the line. What is it going to be for the Williams driver? It's going to be a lovely 15.8, which is going to put him net P4. It's very nice indeed. So we're going to watch XP Live on the mediums. As I'm pretty sure Infinity's just gone P5 with a 15.9. That's a good lap from the Mercedes driver. So Expo going into the tricky part of a Variante Alta. As we see Exo Thunder go P2 with a 14.9. Let's see what tyres that was on. So Billy. Exo Thunder also on the mediums. So that is some incredible pace from the top two drivers. Both looking for pole position, I would have thought. As Expo goes to the line, 15.8, just slots in behind his teammate. Two teams separated by about 1/100th. Who isn't yet to set a lap. Also on the mediums. Running through Piratella on the limit. Into Ackerman Raleigh. See, this track is so tough and demanding in qualifying. Always have a big snap at the rear for the Alpine driver. Into Ackerman, not Ackerman Raleigh. Variante Alta. We've got 4 on the stream. We need a few more. Obviously the stream did restart, so we have lost a few viewers. Hopefully they can join back. So there's into the final 2 regattas. See what it is going to be. On the mediums, as he pulls into the pits. So he's abandoned that one. Let's go Tier 1. Let's go Tier 1 indeed, Gibby. Hope you're well. As we have Lily, sorry. Stumbled my words. About 310 summers, Lily. So there's not going to be a decent lap time from the first drive. Robinson's retired. I think he might have hit the pit wall actually. As you can see on the mini-map, it looks like he's crashed at the pit entry. I'm not too sure what's happened there with the Sauber. That's his spring qualifying over. Lily takes out the bollard on the pit entry. Sets it 17.7. Just improved slightly on her time. I'm going to run on board with Gav. TikTok legend. Does some open lobbies on a night time. Gav comes into the pits. Try and find someone who's on a lap. Meldrum maybe? Yeah, Meldrum's on a lap. We'll also have a look around. Actually, let's ride on board with Billy. In the Mercedes. Actually, I've just put him off. It was a big snap. Coming out turn 3. Into Varianti Villeneuve. Very demanding corner, as he does run a little bit wide into the gravel. Into Toza. Slings the car around, hoping it sticks. It does very nicely. On the exit, just running on the curb a little bit, using all the track to his advantage. Into Piratella we go. Try and use as much of the track as possible, as he does. He's on the limit. I'm not sure if he is on a lap. Judging by his ERS usage, as you can see, he's flashing. I think we'll sharp find out. For me. Don't worry about Lillyman. You've done 2 races today. Honestly, fair play. You're doing 2 sprint races, 22 laps of that. You're doing 64 laps of the track. Honestly, fair play for the commitment. Yeah, so we do have a bit more people on the live. That's nice. I think Infinity's starting his lap now. Through Tamburello. Looks very tidy. I think Billy might have pulled out with his first lap due to that snap at turn 3. Through Varianti Villeneuve. As Rells goes P3 with a 14.9. See what tyres then were on. As we have an Aston Martin off the track. As Rells was on the softs. So we're looking at a very intriguing end to spring qualifying. The top 2 separated by nothing really. Through Minerali. Looks a little bit wide on the entry to the apex. Into Varianti Alta. The Mercedes driver down in P8 looking to improve on his lap time. No, it looks like he's absolutely sent it through there and it's stuck. Looks like he's gained a lot of time through the demanding chicane. Meldrum has retired. I think he's also at the pit wall. I think we've got a few drivers crashing into the pit wall, which is not ideal. Let's hope they don't do that during the race. As Infinity does go to P5. 15.1. I think that's perfect. Yeah, fair. So have James on the mediums. Obviously, he did run on the softs earlier. You don't get another set of softs, so you've only got 1 set of softs for the spring qualifying. So he's only got the mediums left. As Viz goes into P4 with a 15 flat. It's running above James. I'm not really expecting any improvements considering he is on the mediums, but sharp find out. If he sends it, there's always a chance. I mean, you've got Ted and Joe setting them lap times on the mediums, then who knows what James can do, Current championship leader on 90 points. Leading by 5, ahead of the man who's currently in P4. It's a checker flag. Brings it into qualifying as Joe sets a 14.5. So I'm going to run on board with Ted to the line. Ted takes it. Ted takes sprint pole with a 14.5 on the dot, basically. As James does improve on his lap, on the mediums, with a 14 seconds. I'm going to run on board with Vince after he's on the lap. But he's also not on the lap. So that is going to bring an end to sprint qualifying. So close between Ted and Joe. I mean, I hope as Billy does hit the pit wall. We're having a few drivers hitting the pit wall today. Ferret. See if Ferret's improved. Don't think he is. Oh my goodness! What was that? I think Viz has just absolutely sent it and nearly T-boned Ferret going into the Rovaxes. I'm sure that would have been a heart in the mouth moment for the Red Bull driver. Probably a few C words in there as well. As that brings an end to Spring Quali. So we have Ted lining up on pole position with a 14.5. Joe in P2 with a 14.5 as well. James and Rells not too far behind. We've got Viz in P5. LX Tractor line up P6. Infinity P7. Lamaduck in X for the Williams duo. P8 and 9. Blondie in P10. That's a very good lap from Blondie. A 16 flat. I think he'll be absolutely chuffed with a P10. Caliboy obviously P11. As we'll have a look. So Lamaduck did set that lap time on the mediums as well. So he set a 15.4 in practice on the softs. And he's went and set a 15.4 on mediums. So he'll be happy with that one as well. Madge failing to set a lap time in the sprint quali. But she'll be starting from the back of the grid. Looks like no grid penalties. So we're nice and smooth sailing in qualifying. Ready for the sprint. So best of luck to everyone who's in the stream and also racing. As we look for maybe a 5-6 car battle for the lead, or for the win, in this 11 lap sprint race. Obviously a selection of tyres to be chosen. We're looking maybe some drivers on the mediums, some drivers on the hards. As also proven by Tier 2, there was a few hard runners who benefited a lot towards the end of the sprint race. So I'm going to run just through the championship standings quickly as we wait for the drivers to get ready for the sprint. So we have James Doss in the Red Bull leading the championship on 90 points. Then we have Vizdino running P2 in the championship. In the Alpine on 85 points, so 5 points off James. We have Rells in P3 in the championship on 65 points. Obviously he's missed out on 2 podiums due to after race penalties. So he's looking for a bit of redemption today. XPO Live in P4 in the championship with 58 points. Then we've got Ted in P5, who's obviously lined up on sprint pole with 54 points, level on points, with LX Tractor, who's sitting P6 in RB. Then we have Caliboy and Joe, the McLaren pair, in 7 and 8. Then we have Ollie sat in P9 in the Williams. Rawrins in P10 in the Sauber. As we move down at the bottom half of the championship, Chris Downs in the Ferrari, P11 on 40 points. Then we have Ferret in the Red Bull, sat in 12th with 38 points. JVM Jack in the Sauber with 34 points. Infinity down at P14 in the championship with 32 points. F1 Gav, P15 with 20 points. Also level on points with Harry Hill, who's just down in 16th. Blondie, who's also starting P10 in the sprint, is P17 in the standings with 16 points. Then we have the bottom 3, we have Meldrum, Lily and Madge, bottom of the standings on 0 points. So look to the constructors. If I can find them. Yep, so we have Red Bull topping the constructors so far on 128. Then we have Williams, quite a close second, about 24 points off Red Bull. McLaren running P3, not far, about 6 points off Williams. Then Mercedes are 1 point behind the McLaren, with 97 running in P4. We have Alpine solely benefiting off Vizdino's points in P5. So they are looking to be a force to be reckoned with. If Madge can get some points on the board, as well as Vizdino. Sauber running P6 on 76 points. Aston Martin P7 on 74. Then Racing Bulls P8 on 70. P9 is Ferrari on 60. And rounding out the constructors is Haas on 14 points. As we get ready for the sprint race. Should be getting going soon. My voice has taken a beat in the last few days, as you can tell. But we're going to pull through. We're going to persevere. I'm going to get this done. If you're on the live and you're not following, make sure you do, as we run to 5 red lights for the sprint race. It is lights out and we are underway. Ted Head, a little bit screwly off the start. As you see, Joe in behind just as we run into turn 1. See if there's any dramas. A little bit of contact here and there, but it looks pretty clean. We do see Rels get up into P3 overtaking James. I think Meldrum's caught up in an incident in the back, but it looks pretty clean through the first few corners. No real big incidents. As we see Joe just on the back of Ted. Ted obviously keeping the lead. We do have a move towards further back. Ooh, got an Alpine in the ground. Wow. He's sweeped across the track. It's Viz. He's dropped down very far back. So yeah, that's... Oh, he's all the way at the back now. He's back in P20. That's not a good start, as we do have LX Tractor having a little spin on the exit of Aquaman and Raleigh. Ted just keeping the lead still. Yeah, it did look interesting. I wonder if he just lost the traction, both being on the grass. It looked like he did swipe across the racing line. As we do have the RB cars, P6 and P7, so they'll be absolutely buzzing with that start. As I think Lily's been caught up in an incident. She is now running P20. I think she is round on the exit of the chicane. Looks like Larmaduck is getting the move done on Blondie. Into Tamburello. Looks like he has got the move done. GBM Jack makes the move on Caliboy. Looks like Viz is retired in the pits, unfortunately for him. His sprint race is over. Billy right in the back of James. And we also have Exo Thunder right on the back of Ted. So it looks like we've got a close battle on our hands. As Blondie goes for a move on Larmaduck. Oh no, Blondie! Oh, Blondie's around. That's so unfortunate for Blondie. Yeah, he was running so high up as well. P7. So he's gonna be kicking himself. But he should be really impressed with himself with that quali. As I think Billy's had a little bit of an off. As LX Tractor has jumped up into P5. Solid start from the RB driver. Looks like Blondie's got a move done on Gav, going into the chicane. Going back to the race leaders. Ted, about half a second ahead of Joe in P2. Joe will have DRS this lap. Ted sets a 17.7. That's Tractor, sorry. I didn't look at the tyres. So here we are. We've got the whole top 6 are running hards. Then all the way down to P10 is medium. Ferret on the hards. Madge from the back of the grid up into P12. So a very good start from the Alpine driver. Trying to make up for Biz Dino's interesting first lap. We have Harry and Gavin Blondie all on hards. XPO Live down in P16 on the medium. I wonder if he's got caught up in an incident, because I'm pretty sure he started higher up than that. Joe looks for a little move in Aquaman and Raleigh. Not giving Ted any breathing room whatsoever. As always, is he going to go for a move? Not quite. Oh, we have a lot of contact behind. We have LX Tractor and James Stoss. I wonder if Tractor does have any front wing damage off that. Doesn't look like it. He's done pretty well to avoid damage, but it looks like a lot of contact. Been close to damage at least. As Larmaduck's joined the back of this train. Down to P7. Oh, Tractor picks up the 3-second penalty. Track limits. As we go on to lap 4 of this sprint race. Lap 4 of 11, of course. Joe is going to look for a move. Ted just outbreaks him on the outside line. Is Joe going to go for a move? I don't think he isn't very anti-Villeneuve. So I think Infinity's just been caught up in a little bit of a incident with Llama Duck. Llama Duck doesn't have any damage, but Chris Downs is right in the back of him. Oh, he's going to switch to the inside. He's going to go for a move. Into Tozer now. No contact. Llama Duck just keeps the position. Some nice clean racing there. GVM Jack getting ahead of Madge. Got a little battle forming. Into Piratella we go. Looks like GVM Jack is just going to keep that place. Tractor is right on the back of Mr. James Stoss. Such a satisfying corner to watch. Very anti-out chicane. I'm assuming Joe is looking for a pass as soon as possible to try and get off down the road. Because I think Harry Hale's being caught up in an incident further back because he does also get a penalty for track limits. We've got Gibby supporting Joe in the live chat. Let's see if Joe can get the move done on Ted with the DRS advantage. Are we going to see a swap of lead into Tamburello? It looks like... Oh, very close. Wheel to wheel. As Rells... Joe is being put off the track by Rells at turn 3. That is very unfortunate for Joe. Tractor comes up to P3. I think Joe will be a little bit annoyed at that. As he was looking for the move on Ted, it looked like Rells jumped at the opportunity to try and get the move done. Maybe misjudged it a little bit. And it sent Joe off the track into the gravel. So he's lost a few places. Infinity just on the back of Joe now, down in P6. As we have a new battle for the lead between Ted and James. As Rells is looking for a move on Tractor but thinks better of it. Into the chicane. We look to go on to lap 6. See if James can get the move done with some DRS. Thinks better of it going into Tamburello. Doesn't want to take any risks. We have Llama Duck getting past Chris Downs into P7, both running the medium tyres. I'm assuming their tyre will be pretty high at the moment. Ferret's running P10 nicely. In a bit of no man's land. Belgium gets a 3-second time penalty. We're going to look towards the front once again. I think we've got a little salvo battle going on. We will run on board with Rawlins in for a bit until the leaders get towards that DRS. It's like Chris Downs and Llama Duck are having an absolute squabble, putting on a show for us in the sprint race. A lot of swapping positions. Number 69 Way in the Ferrari running down in P8. He's got a penalty. Tractor gets another 3 seconds for track limits, so that's now 6. 6 seconds will be added to his time at the end. As we see the drivers in the lead, go through the revatzers. Oh, Ted with a big snap on the exit, and I think James will be looking to get the move done. Championship leader, can he go for a move on the Aston Martin with the DRS advantage? Looks like he's going to be forced to the outside. Let's see if Ted can keep the place. Looks like James is going to sweep around the outside and get the move done. We have a new race leader, the Red Bull of James Stoss. Oh, as Ted has spun off into the barrier. He's also broke his front wing. That is so unfortunate for the Aston Martin driver. Former race leader, now turned into P6 with damage. That is a big moment in the championship. The pole sitter making a mistake. So look forward as Joe has now joined the back of this lead pack once again. James got a nice cushion of about 1.2 seconds. Also Tractor with the 6 seconds time penalties. So James is looking convincingly in the lead, to say the least. He'll be looking to convert P3 into a race win here. Llama Duck unfortunately gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Looks like we are going to see a few track limit penalties today, especially in the race, 32 laps long. Surprise podium from Gav. I wish we could get an F1 Gav podium. That'd be incredible. As we see, Rels go for a move on tractor. Oh, there's a little bit of contact, but he does get the move done. Up into P2 now, Rels. Let's see if Joe can push up and get a move done on LX tractor as soon as possible. As Caliboy gets a move done on Chris Downs. And Chris Downs get a little move done into Variante Villeneuve. He thinks better. As Caliboy gets a 3-second penalty for track limits. So this is now an on-track battle. No penalty advantage for any of them. Oh, as Joe goes down the inside, Piratello would just missed it slightly. But it looks like Joe... Tractor hits the curb and sends him a little bit to the outside. Nearly clips the back of the McLaren. But Joe does get the move done. Moves up into P3. I feel like this is going to be a very interesting battle between the two drivers who did collide. It looks like Rels is trying to get the DRS. Playing a bit of DRS chicken. Going on to lap 9. Joe does get ahead, but Rels is going to have the DRS, I'm pretty sure. So we run on board. Let's run on board with Rels. See if he does get the DRS. Oh no, Joe does get the DRS actually. So Rels' DRS game's coming back to bite him a little bit. He put himself under a little bit of pressure of tractor behind as well. I think we've got Chris Downs into the pits. Ooh, not sure what's happened there. Maybe his tyres just too warm to get the end, maybe. Got a lot of battling going on between Madge. You've got GBM Jack, maybe looking for a move on Blondie soon. So Madge looking to the inside for a little move on Larmaduke. Oh, as we have a car off in the background is Caliboy, who's gone wide of Variante Villeneuve. He's lost a lot of places there. Looking for a safe place to rejoin the track, which is good to see. Unless he's just going to pull over and retire. Oh, we have a crash. It looks like GBM Jack's just clipped the rear of Harry Hale, who was spun off into the grass. You can see him pulling off the track. Just caught the end of that. As, yeah, James is convincingly in the lead now. He's got about 3 seconds to Exo Thunder. As Rels has dropped back a little bit. About a second, so looks like this leading 5 have spread out a lot. I think Ted's still got wing damage. Not wanting to pit. His Ferret now is running up at P7. He's benefited a lot from these few incidents. Oh my god! As James gets a 3-second penalty, so this is going to be very close going on the last 2 laps of the sprint race. Wow, that's just opened the door massively to Joe. If he can push on and catch up with this Red Bull. All he needs is just to get within 3 seconds and he's won the race. The tractor is right on the back of Rels now. This Caliboy has retired in the pit lane. I think he was out the points anyway, so that doesn't really make a difference. Ooh, tractor just goes off the track there. Dips a tire in the gravel. Gonna start beatboxing there. Can tractor look for a move on the Mercedes into Variante Alta? He's right on the back, about a 10th. Just realised we've got a couple 69s on the track. Oh, tractor goes for the outside to the inside as they do swap places into the Ravatzes. As Rawlinson picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Let's see if Rels gets a DRS. I don't think he does. The tractor gets a DRS again. I believe that's twice that Rels has tried to play some DRS games and has not worked. And he is now running in P4 with his teammate Infinity running about a second and a half behind. With Ted kind of in no man's land. The Pulsar are down in P6, looking for a P6 finish as we are on the final lap. And it does look like, if it stays this way, Exo Thunder will take his first win of the season. It's a sprint race, but it still counts as a race win. He's got about a 2-tenth cushion, as we do see Madge. I think Madge has had an incident. She has, you can see, the gravel on her tyres. That's unfortunate for Madge. Yeah, I think Joe's winning this convincingly. Got about half a second now. Infinity's joined that little battle for P3. Going into the final few corners now. So the man on track is going to cross the line first is James Stoss as he takes the line. But it is going to be Exo Thunder who takes a sprint win in Imola as he shoots up to P1. The McLaren driver does get the win as Rels finishes on the podium for the first time this season. Infinity into P4. That's a very nice finish for the both Mercedes drivers as Ferrer crosses the line in a very dandy P7. He'll be happy with that. Rawrins into P8, Salamat at P9, Blondie getting P10 in the end. That's my old teammate. Go on, Joe. Go on, Joe, indeed. XP Live goes up into P12. F1 Gav crosses the line in P14. Let's see if Jack's just absolutely thunder cunted the fucking pit wall. As Harry Hill crosses the line, the last man to finish. And that is the sprint race done and dusted. Classic Jack. So there is your order from the sprint. As you can see, Red Bull picking up some nice points for the constructors, as well as Mercedes, both finishing up there, near and around the podium. As we are coming up to qualifying for the main race. So as the drivers get ready for 18-minute long short qualifying now. So it's 18 minutes, not 12. Got 5 in the stream. If you haven't already, make sure to follow all of our socials. Slipstream Society on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and obviously Twitch that we're on now. It's a big help. Obviously, the news of our latest partnership between Slipstream and Sim Racing Setups. It's a big announcement for the league, big moment as we look to the future. Get some more partnerships along the way. So, got a link as well where you can get 10% discount on all Sim Racing Setup packages, all that include F1. So that's unbelievable for the league, I must say. As we look to the future to try and grow as big as possible. And it's surely heading that way. That's obviously our last streams did incredible for, pretty sure it was Bahrain. It was a very successful Friday night. We see a little bit of racing going on in quali. I think it's between LX Tractor and Rels, picking up from where they left off in the sprint race. And if this quali is the same as sprint quali, we are looking for a very tight top few. So I'm going to run on board with LX Tractor as he is going to be the first person to cross the line to go on to his first flying lap of the session. Obviously this is the outlap, so it doesn't really matter that he's invalidated. Fun fact, this LX Tractor that we are spectating right now, the Racing Bulls driver, is indeed 6'11". So I'm assuming he's going to need a lot of leg room in his racing sim as we move into turn 1, Cambrello chicane, through turn 3, Try not to invalidate on the right as he slings it. Next up, very anti-Villeneuve. It's very tidy. It's a very difficult corner into Toza. A little bit of an uphill braking zone. Trying to keep it nice on the exit. Looks very tidy. As we move, let me get off there actually. Into Piratella. He's used a lot of battery in sector 1 and 2 so far. Into Aquaminerali. Very tough and demanding corner, especially in qualifying at full pace. Into very anti-alta. Very easy indeed to invalidate. Wastes his battery. Yeah, he has wasted his battery to be fair. He's flashing it, as you can see. He's run out, he's trying to harvest. No, he's got another few runs. I'm sure he'll get his battery right in the next few runs that he has. Out the Ravazzas, no invalidations. Tidy lap from Tractor. Let's see what it's going to be. This is the benchmark, a 15-1. It's a very nice lap from the Racing Bulls. So we're on board with MNX Caliboy. There's Wells, slots in behind our RB. About a 10th back with a 15-2. Caliboy obviously showing some impressive pace and quality this season. There's Lily sets a 17.7. Was it P3? Obviously, this track on the game is a lot more lenient with the track limits, so you can't afford to push as much as possible and extend the track. His Caliboy gets a 16.1. Blondie also with a 16.9. James Dossel a 15.4. Slots in nicely into P3. So see Rawlins and come to the line. It is going to be a 38 then, so I'm assuming he's abandoned that lap and he will be on a flying lap now. As I think Joe's invalidated. Let's run on board with Madge. Into Piratella. Nicely out with it into Aquaminerali. As I said, a very demanding corner. Madge's got a lot more battery to play with than what we saw Tractor had by now. In the Alpine, Pierre Gasly lover. As we see her climb down the hill into the Ravazzas. A few tricky corners. Very easy to invalidate as well. You see, she just keeps it within track limits. To the line, what's it going to be for Madge? It's going to be a 15.5, which puts her in a P5. Nice, respectable lap time from the Alpine. As we're going to spectate Joe for his full entire lap. His first flying lap, obviously, getting P2 in the sprint. In the sprint quali, sorry. Obviously winning the sprint race. So, a very good first 2 sessions for this McLaren driver. Let's hope the car ahead gets out the way nicely. Yeah, the Aston Martin goes off. To get out the way of the McLaren, as we go through Toza. Nice exit and a 15 flat for Ted as he goes to provisional pole. Let's see how Joe's lap times compare. His Meldrum goes up to P8 with a 15.9. It's a nice lap from the Haas. Obviously XPO Live as well, going into P7 with a 15.8. There's a lot of gravel. Flicked up, I think that could be Madge. Yeah, it is Madge. Classic Madge. Into the Ravazzas we go with Joe. Out the final corner. To the line. See what it's going to be for the McLaren using all of his battery. And he's going to go on a provisional pole by a convincing amount of about 0.3 of a second. 14.7 is a very nice lap from the McLaren, as he sets himself up nicely for his final run. He's going to spectate Ferret after his convincing P7 in the sprint. See what he can do in this qualifying lap. Through Piratella. Into Aquaminerali, using a little bit of battery on entry. Try and get as much speed, carry as much speed through as possible. On the exit, using his battery as well. Into completely forgot the name of the corner. Variante Alta, that's the one. Into the Ravazzas, down the hill. Got a little bit of battery to play with towards the line, not too much though. Out the final Ravazza, trying not to invalidate on the right hand side. He's done that pretty nicely. To the line, trying to cut as much of the track as possible. And it's a 16.5 into P14 for the Red Bull driver. See if there's any more lap times coming in. Don't think so. Have we got Infinity? I think he's on the lap. Into... No, he's definitely not on the lap. I think he could be coming up in the pits. Just make sure of this. And he is. That rail's on the lap. I think it is. Spectator rails. There's currently P5. Obviously finishing P3, getting his first podium of the season in the sprint. As he said, purple sector 1. About half a second up on his lap, so this is looking to be a very nice lap from the Mercedes. So he flings it through Piratella into Acqua Minerale. Try and get as much curb on the inside as possible for the more rotation. Foot on the gas, all the way down to Variante Alta. You can see he's about 7/10 up on his time. This is a stonking lap from the Mercedes. If he can get sector 3 nailed, we could be looking at a new pulsar. Into the Ravazzas. Use as much track on the right as possible. Flings it through to the line. He's got a lot of battery to play with as well. What's it going to be for the Mercedes? It's going to be provisional pole. It's a 14.6. He's about a tenth and a half ahead of Joe. That's a very nice lap time from the Mercedes indeed. As we're going to run on board with Viz for his first flying lap in this in the main qualifying actually. I've got sprint stuck in my head. Sprint is out the way. Down back to business. Here we are. Just in sector 2, climbing up the hill, sorry, into Piratella. As my voice is starting to go a little bit. A little bit squirrely in the exit. Purple sector 2 though. Into Variante Alta, using as much of the track as possible without invalidating. That went very nicely there. As we climb down the hill. It's nice. Looks like a nice lap from Vezdino. Let's see where this puts him. It's in P6 with a 15.4. I think we could have a McLaren in the lap. I think it's Caliboy. It is. We've got about 7.5 minutes left of the session. So we'll see a few runs before the final flying laps of all the drivers. We've got a Ferrari going slowly in sector 2. So we are on the climb to the little turn 8 kink into Piratella turn 9. Oh, he's used all the track there, that is perfect. He has not invalidated as well, which is very surprising. Boy, absolutely sending it through Piratella as we go to turn 14 and 15. We've also got a bit of a nothing turn. Turn 16, the little right hand kink into turn 17, a heavy braking zone at the bottom of the hill. Nice bit of trail braking, roll the car through, get as much turning as possible on the last Ravazza. To the line, what's it going to be? 4 Caliboy, looks like a nice lap. Up in a P6 with a 15.4. Both McLarens nicely up there, competing. So I'll look down the order. Got Chris. I think Gav is invalidated. Harry Hill's about 2.5 tenths up. Into Variante Alta. So we've run on board with the Aston Martin driver. So as Brock Lesnar rounds the final corner to the line, as much battery as possible. What's it going to be for Harry Hill? It's going to be a little improvement with 300ths of a second. Doesn't move him up any places, but it is an improvement on his lap time, which is the most important thing. XPO Live on the mediums. May have misclicked slightly, but he is on the lap, and we will run with it. Just a quick fun fact for everybody. XP Live indeed does have a new wheel. He doesn't really talk about it too much, but he does have a new wheel, just for everyone to know. I might let you know next week the same thing, but you know, he's just pulling up the pits on the mediums. Yeah, XP Live does have a new wheel, by the way, if anyone didn't know. As Billy is now about 1/10 up on his time. In Sector 2. Third Paratella. Looks nice. I'm assuming all the drivers will use all of their sets of softs, as I don't really think the softs are going to be that useful in the race. As Billy does set a purple Sector 2. There's about 2.5 tenths up on his time, so he's looking at a decent position here. He's got a little bit of battery to work with. Into the rivets as we go. Through the left-hander. It's a very satisfying section to pull off. As we go to the line, what is it going to be for the Mercedes? Open a P4. He's gained a lot of time in the final sector. He's set a 15 flat. He's gained about 4 tenths on the lap, and puts in P4. So we're looking at a few team battles between, I'd say, McLaren, obviously the Mercedes drivers. We've got Alpine up there as well, P8 and 9. So we've got a few teams quite high up there. As Infinity will try and come back around into the pits and try and get out for his final run. I'm going to take a quick drink. Let's save that extractor as well. Looks like he's used a lot of battery. Looks like Alex Tractor is the type of racer to absolutely destroy his battery, as we've seen from his first 2 runs. But anyhow, it looks like it's working, and he's up in P6. Does have some good pace on him. He's also a real-life semi-pro racer as well, so he has that sort of experience. So I'm not going to judge a man who can do it in real life. Well, I'm sat here commentating. Here's Horst and to the line, I think. Yeah, he's pulling it in the pit lane. That bloody pit wall. So I think Billy's just gone for another lap. He might have fueled up enough to have 2 flying laps here. I'm going to look to spectate somebody else, as we have already seen his lap. Rollins and runs a little bit wide on the exit of Ackerman and Rory. See Blondie to the line. He's improved by 2.5 tenths to a 16.6. See what F1 Gal can do and get a proper lap time in. As we climb down the hill into the Ravazzas. Once again, I think he could be charging up for another lap, Gav. I think this is going to be his final run. As we look towards Exo Thunder, see if he can claim pole position. Oh no. As Ferret has collided with Joe, I'm not sure what's happened there. And Ferret does have a 5-place grid penalty for the start of the race. So if Ferret cannot get another lap in, that will put him to the back of the grid. Because I think Lily's retired in the pits. See what's going to be for Joe. Aren't Ackerman and Raleigh? I think Alex Tractor's also retired in the pit lane. He is 2 tenths up on his time, so he is currently looking at pole position. I think Harry Hill's also retired in the pits. Here we go into the final section of the track. This is where the time can be gained. If you can nail these corners. This is looking at a pole position for the McLaren. To the line, what is it going to be for Exo Thunder? It is going to be pole. It is a 14.5. Well, let's have a look behind to see if there's anybody else improving. I think the Mercedes is going to go on a lap now. Let's have a look at Ted. It's about 700ths up, going into Toza. So Ted, never count Ted Head out. As we saw by spring qualifying, he definitely does have the pace. Let's hope that little spin in the sprint race wasn't a little knock to his confidence for the rest of this race weekend. We do have a Haas up ahead, completing the lap. So Rels is not going to get another run. So Rels' final time is a 14.6. Madge up in a P6 as well. It's a nice lap from Madge, 15.1. Vizdinho goes to P9, I'm pretty sure that was. Ted rounds the final corner to the line, number 67. Shoots up to P3. It's a respectable lap time, it's a 14.8. Just slots in behind Wells as James goes to the line and splits them two. So James is now running in P3. Because I think Infinity's had a little bit of a messy lap. I don't think Madge is on the lap either. Let's have a look around. I think this could be the end of qualifying. This Ferret shoots up in a P11. Just slots in behind Meldrum. I think that is going to bring qualifying for the main race to a close. So we do have your pole sitter, also sprint winner, around this track, Mr. Exo Thunder in the McLaren. We do have Rels in P2. I'm sure this is going to be a very spicy contest. So we also have James lining up in P3, the championship leader, of course. Ted running P4. We've got Infinity running P5. Madge up in P6. In the Alpine, I'm pretty sure she'll be buzzing with that lap. We have Tractor in P7. Caliboy in P8. Viz in P9. Meldrum running P10. Ferret running P11. XPO Live P12. Lamaduk P13. Rawrins in P14. Harry Hill P15. Chris Downs P16. Blondie P17. As we are looking towards a 6-minute break before ready up. Let's just have a run through the rest of the grid. As Ferret does have a 5-place grid penalty, so he will drop to P16. As we look, GBM Jack line up in P18. Still got the Bahrain flag on from last week. And then we've got Lily P19 and Gav rounding out the grid in P20 with 20.7. So here we are, 3, 4, 2, 5 red lights for the start of the Emilia Romania Grand Prix in Slipstream. It is lights out now and we are underway. Exo Thunder gets a half decent start, he's got Rels alongside. As we look towards the top two, and Rels sweeps around the outside with a great move, and we've got a lot of cars off in the background. Oh dear me, there's a lot of incidents towards the back, there's a lot of cars off. We've got Ferret round. Yeah, we're going to get back with the lead. Yeah, there's a lot of kerfuffle. Got a Sauber going slowly. It's all a bit chaotic, really. But the drivers who have kept it clean are now running quite high up. As we see, Rels, obviously the race leader, after making that move into turn 1 around the outside on Exo Thunder. Very impressive move from the Mercedes. We've got Exo Thunder running P2. We've got James Stoss running P3. I don't know what them race strategies are. I don't know why someone would pit for softs. Anyhow, let's ignore them. As we do have Viz, Expo, and Lamaduk all starting on the hard tyres. The rest running the mediums. We've got a lot of cars further back who've been caught up in incidents. As well as crosses the line just at the fastest lap. Let's see Joe if he can get a little move done with a slipstream. He's just going to slot in behind the Mercedes into turn 1. As Vizdinho goes for a move on Caliboy. Ooh, a little bit tight. enough space given as Caliboy loses the rear, and he does get overtaken twice by Viz and Ted. He's also got XP Alive hot on the tail. So we're going to look back towards the leaders. He's got a little train, 4-car train forming between Wells, Exo Thunder, James Stoss and Infinity. As Meldrum unfortunately retires in the pits on his left. They have Madge early pit stops. I'm assuming there's some damage on that Alpine. She started really high up as well, so that's pretty unfortunate for the Alpine driver. Yet to score a point this season. Unless she did in the sprint race, I can't really remember. So GBM Jack and Lavadog are close together. Going through Variant Yalda. We're going to run back towards the race leaders. A little bit of DRS now. So Exo Thunder, can he get the move done? As Rels obviously sets a fast lap again. An 18-1. Joe with the DRS advantage. Takes the outside line. And does swoop into the lead. Oh, as Rels very close to the rear of the McLaren. Into turn one, but Joe does get the move done. Back into the lead from where he started. Looks like Ted is forming a little train here. He's got Lamadov making a move on Harry Hale. Going into Variante Villeneuve. Oh, as we got GBM Jack off at the background. I think he made a little bit of contact with Harry Hale. Yeah, so that's not very nice for the Sauber. As we run a little bit higher up. Got Blondie in behind Expo. Or Expo. If you know, you know. He's got Viz on the back of Ted. Lamadog is the first man to get penalised for track limits. First of many, I would have thought. This is a pretty tough track for track limits. As we run with the race leaders. About 8 tenths in it. So I don't think Rels will be able to get the move done with the DRS yet. Joe sets a 17.2. In turn one. Looks like Infinity's just dropped back off this leading trio. As I think Viz just gets ahead of Caliboy. Well, they're very close indeed. As Blondie gets a 3-second penalty for track limits. Train Lamadog in the track limit club. Oh, that's very close between the McLaren and the Alpine. Running through Variante Villeneuve into Toza. We've got Madge, yeah, a little bit far off. P18 of Gav. Also got a Red Bull off. Let's ferret in the gravel. I don't want to shit talk him too much, as I will be called a cunt. Hope he splits his tail when he watches this back. So we're going to run. It looks like Infinity has closed back up to the leading trio. As well as just fallen back a little bit. It's going to be on the verge of DRS. I'm not too sure if he does get it this lap. The gap was pretty close. He's saving a little bit of battery as well. We will see if he gets DRS. No, he doesn't. This is crucial. This can really help Joe pull away now. It also brings James into play for P2. It's going to be very close. Rouse is saving battery. James is just going to set them behind. We do have I think it's a Ferrari of Chris Downs, who's been involved in a slight incident. As this is now the battle for P2. Rouse losing the back end, maybe their medium's just going off a little bit. Let's look for any battles. Been a pretty entertaining one so far in the first 5 laps. So we got Expo leading a little bit of a train from P7 down to P6. I think we got Lily off. Oh, we got Ferret as well. I think this might have been a little bit of an incident. We got Ferret round again. The same corner. We've also got Lily. I think they got caught up in an incident. Let's see. I think Ferret spun again. Unfortunately for him, yeah. So we are going to see James getting a little bit of a DRS advantage on Rels. Going down the straight, it looks like James is going to sweep into P2 very easily. Rels is not going to give it up though. Let's see, Rels does defend into turn 1. James does sweep around the outside and claims P2 in the race. So Rels now drops to P3, he's got his teammate Infinity just behind. So we are seeing a little battle forming for P5 between Ted and Viz. Expo about a second ahead of Caliboy. Tractor has fallen back a little bit as well since the start. I'm not too sure if he got caught up in an incident or not. Blandy about half a second behind Lamaduck, running very nicely in P10. Ferret boxes. So I think Rels and Infinity is swapping places right now. Oof! That was very close between both Mercedes. You need to be careful there. Can't afford any inter-team collisions. Got civil war like we saw with the McLarens in Tier 2 earlier today. There's a bit of rain. You might have deceived me. Are we seeing rain? I think it's raining. There is no way it started raining. Classic ferret lobbies. As Rels is going to sweep past James. Can someone please confirm in the chat that it's actually raining, because I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it definitely is. Oh, Rels runs wide. And James is going to get back ahead. So he gets back into P2. Rels runs a little bit wide at turn 3. As Ted and Viz has now joined the party. These 4 cars have lost so much time to Joe out in front. As Joe now controls the pace at about 5 seconds ahead. See a few drivers running right. Oh, as Joe gets his 3-second penalty at Aqua Minerale. He's going to be kicking himself for that one a little bit. We've got a very interesting battle brewing up. See if XPO Live can join the fun as well. As Infinity gets a 3-second penalty for track limits. Unfortunately for him. I wonder if Rels is going to play any team games, so he's going to try and let Infinity get off. As Ted goes down the inside of Infinity, shoves him off the track, I would say. Yeah, it was a bit questionable from the Aston Martin. Kind of just pushed him off, but we move on. As Rels has just lost that second to James. I think he just got DRS. As Ted is now moving up into P4. Infinity obviously falling back to P6 after quite a disappointing half a lap. As we are seeing rain, and we are seeing a little bit of a spin for someone. I think Raw Engine's box for the Inters. I'm unsure if it's too early. I really don't know. What have you missed, Gibby? You've missed a lot, really. It's starting to rain, so we got a few boxing for the Inters. We've had a few collisions. We've had Ted and Billy get caught up in an incident. Basically, Ted kind of pushed Billy off the track at the final corner. We've had a few spins here and there, a few little contacts. Ferret caught up in an incident with Lily, I'm pretty sure it was. Joe got a 3 seconds for track limits. He's also put out a 5-second lead. There's Ted and Rels swap places, going into the final section. I think it is definitely intermediates now, as you can see the drivers start to struggle. Oh wow, Ted stays out for another lap, that could be very costly. Also Viz Dino stays out on the hard, so does XPO Live. Lamaduck out as well. We do see the race leader into the pits for hards. So we do have 2 cars, we do have both Saubers on the intermediates. I wonder if the track is not going to get any wetter than this. So we do have net race leader Joe on the hards, as long with James Doss, Rels, who fell considerably far behind the Red Bull. It's nearly about 4 seconds. We are seeing a little bit of a spread happening with the gaps. As Harry Hill pits for the inters, we have Chris Downs on the intermediates. For once, having Mark Thomas about the weather is very hot. Yeah, no. Yeah, it'd be very helpful having Markham here. As you see Ted jump into the pits, Sophie avoids the 10 seconds and he does. I feel like I've missed a few 3-second penalties because they're just flying in at the minute. I don't think Vizdino's got one. As we see Ted come in. And he fits the new fresh hard tyres. He's got about 22 laps left of this race. So we have current on-track race leader Viz. No, I don't think it's intermediates. I feel like for Joe to come in for slicks, obviously James as well, I don't think it's wet enough yet. It could. The track is looking a little bit greasy in parts. We could see inners. I'm not too sure how long it's going to rain. Is GBM Jack is retired? I think that's in the pits. Yeah, it is. Not too sure why Jack's retired in the pits. He's running about P50. Let's see what these hard runners do. They're going to box for a set of inters maybe if it gets a little bit more wet. We do have Lily in the pits retiring as well. Lily has put in a shift today, to be fair. So I honestly don't blame her. Because we have Joe right in the back of Blondie. Both Hasses DNFing, unfortunately, for the constructors. As Joe is going to move past the RB. He's got about 5 seconds on James. Let's see if Joe can even close up to Larmadug, you know. Just gonna have a look about. See if there's any battles going on. We've got Billy right in the back of Tractor. Got Wells on the back of Ted. So by Ted staying out a lap, he's actually been able to keep that gap to Rels and stay ahead of the Mercedes. Let's see if Infinity can get a move done on Tractor as soon as possible. For the sake of his race. See if he can push up to the back of his teammate, like we saw before. As James gets past his sister team, the Racing Bulls of Blondie, still out on the mediums. Wonder if Blondie's looking to do a little one-stop. It looks like he's coming at the pits. 20 laps on hards is a long way to go. We'll see if he can pull it off. Looks like Expo Live's closing up to the back of Vizdino. Expo showing a little bit of pace on them hards. So you see Rels and Ted swap places into turn 1. So we've got Ted about half a second off Rels. We've got Infinity still on the back of LX Tractor. We've still got some drivers out in the inters. I feel like they need to come in, otherwise they're just going to lose a bunch of time. I don't think it's raining anymore. It's still very light rain. I feel like they're just out there for the sake of chance. Kelly White picks up a 3 seconds. That's not ideal for his race. Expo just dropping off Fizz a little bit. Joe is catching Larmaduk at a considerable rate. So we see Ted get past Rels with the DRS again. These two working together with the DRS to try and maybe catch James up in front. See Infinity still in the DRS with Tractor down in P9 with a penalty. We've got Chris Downs on the back of Ferret now. I think there's maybe the tyre to be on. I mean, with Chris being on the back of Ferret, I mean, there's always a chance that the Inters could well be better. Got both Ferraris out of the down in P14 and 15. See if Chris stays out for another lap. Yes, he does. I feel like these Inters runners, they're just out here for pure vibes. As Rawlinson does come into the pits. Looks like a pretty dismal race for Sauber and Haas. We've got Rawlinson running in P17 with his teammate Jack out the race. Both Haas's out the race as well. I feel like that little spin at turn 3 in the sprint may have put Ted off a little bit. I feel like we saw his pace drop a little bit since then, especially in qualifying. Let's hope not. Let's hope he can persevere. Maybe catch up with the Red Bull of James. Expo just about a second off. I feel like these hard runners could well do a one stop if the tyres are intact. I missed the overtake between Joe and Larmaduck. Joe has got ahead of Ollie into P3. Rel's still on the back of Ted, just about. It was about 8.5 tenths. So let's see if Ted can maybe pull away from the Mercedes. So Infinity's right on the back of track now. You can see it's still raining, but you can't really see it on the track, so I don't really think it's going to get any worse than this. Will Infinity looks for a move down the inside of the barrier in the outer. Thinks otherwise, going over with a real lock-up. Oh, I see Gav. I think Gav's... Oh, Gav's in the barrier. I think he's stuck. This could well be a safety car. We've got some sort of safety car. I think it's just a VSC. But Gav has went off at turn 2. Yeah, and I think that is a VSC. So this neutralises the race. I think we will see a few pit stops. Obviously, the Delta is a prominent thing under the VSC. If you do run over your Delta, you will get a drive-through on restart. So the drivers have to run at about 40% of their speed until the VSC is ended. So Gav can get back to the pits nice and easy after his little spin into the barrier. I need to see replay eventually of that clip. Looked like a pretty big whack into the barrier. Looks like he lost a considerable amount of front wing. As you can see, both end plates off the car. So we look, a few pit stops. Madge onto the mediums. Ooh, not sure Madge can get them to the end. I'm not sure what's happened with Alex Tractor, but he's got a 10-second penalty. Oh, his Larmaduck gets a drive-through. There's our first drive-through of the season, maybe. I don't think we've had a drive-through this season. I may be wrong. Gav's retired in the pits, unfortunately. As we see, Blondie let Tractor go. Oh, is Gav crashed? I think Gav may well have crashed. Maybe on pit entry? Did anyone see? In the stream, I completely missed that, but we do have a safety car. We're going to see as Ferrer gets a drive-through. He hit the pit entry wall. Oh no. We saw a bit of that in, I think it was spring quali. I think we saw a few drivers hit the pit wall. Oh no. Gav's going to be kicking himself. I don't think this has really helped Rels in any way. Obviously, he did get the pit stop under the VSC, but unfortunately for him, the safety car straight after has gained him. It's probably lost him time, to be fair. You do see Larmaduck. Unfortunately, with the drive-through, obviously. Let's just check, just to make sure, yeah. Oh, so we've got a few drive-throughs. We've got Ferret, Tractor, and Larmaduck, all with drive-throughs. Yeah. I'm not going to judge because I've probably done that before, as you know. Oh, it's disappeared. See, the hard. To be fair, Expo, this could be our new top 3. Expo Thunder's in the pits. I think this is going to be our new top 3. I think. Oh my goodness, this is on the Inters. That could be a huge mistake for the Alpine. And your new race leader is Mr. Larmaduck. Unfortunately, does have a drive-through. I think Joe may have just... I think the safety car came out as Joe was crossing the pits, like past the pits. So he has lost a few places. And your new net race leader will be Mr. James Stoss after Larmaduck completes his drive-through. So we're 10 net P2. I'm not sure why Viz has gone for the Inners. It's still raining, but I don't think it's bad enough yet. Ferrets took a gamble on the intermediates, as you can see down in P14. I feel like the safety car is going to be out for a little while, as Ferret gets a 3-second penalty for track limits. XPO Live has absolutely benefited from this safety car. He's jumped ahead of Joe, our former race leader. We see Ral's down in P7, teammate up behind. We've got Tractor in P9, got to overtake. Chris Downs comes into the pits to get rid of them, as I'm sure he will. Unless it's a drive-through, actually. Or I might have just put them on, I'm not too sure. This is going to help Madge as well. Madge, let's not get some warnings on with the safety car. But this is going to be quite a long safety car. As we probably do have a few heavy machinery on the track, removing Gav's car. So first safety car. Well, I don't think we had one in Bahrain last week, and obviously wasn't here for Australia, unfortunately. Obviously last week was our wild card, which turned out to be Rainbow Race. If you haven't watched it, make sure to go check it out on the Twitch. That'll be on my Twitch actually, so that'll be Manzi, so don't worry about that. This is our new focus on the new Slipstream page. Debut on the Twitch. I want to hope James didn't just hit the back of Larmaduck there. Drivers just trying to make sure they don't hit each other and get unnecessary penalties. I'll be lying and saying I've never done that before, because I have considerably amount of times. That did not make sense, but you know. So we are looking. So from James down, I think this is the order. I'm not sure why Infinity and Wells are swapping places, but yeah. So it looks like James is going to be leading the race once Larmaduck comes in. Then we got Ted running in net P2. We've got Viz net P3 on the Inters. He's took a gamble. It could well pay off if it keeps raining. Net P4, we've got XPO Live. Obviously his podium in Australia in the season opener. Looking for another podium, really. I mean, if Larmaduck comes in, does look like it might be time for us. Or as we see a 10-second penalty with Callioy. Who knows, Viz could have pulled a blinder, but I guess we'll find out in the next few laps if it does get wet. I think it might it might get to the point where we see the crossover, but then I'm not sure if it'll get any more wetter than that. It's raining a little bit more than it was before. Who knows? Viz could well go on to win this race. If it does turn intermediate, Ferret will climb as well. Same with the Ferrari of Chris Downs. So I think Harry Hill could be a lapped car right now. Unfortunately, he is. I'm not sure if there is a rule where you have to let the lap car through. See, tractor Finrell's getting the hair. Not sure because we've implemented a few new rules, as you may have seen in the Discord. As Harry just hit the back of the Red Bull. Let's hope there's no penalty there. Safety car is in this lap, so Ferret will be hoping to catch up along with them two cars behind him. As we have race leader Larmaduck taking us through the race, getting race back underway. Will he go early and jump in at the pits? That's what you would have thought he would have done. You see the safety car peel off into the pits. Bit of weaving going on. As Larmaduck gets a good restart, he's going to try and shoot off into the distance on them new mediums and then come in for his drive-through. So see, I'm not sure what's happening here. So see Harry Hill, obviously, lap car. We have a car off at the back. Oh, as the two Mercedes have come together at turn one. Once again, the Mercedes crashing into each other. So it looks like, as we had in Tier 2, we had the McLaren Civil War. It looks like in Tier 1, we do have indeed the Mercedes Civil War. As we see Viz going off on the Inters. So I feel like, I don't think it's time for the intermediates, if I'm going to be honest. We have a lot of squabbling throughout the grid. Look at all the penalties. Let's just have a quick look at the penalties. We've got a few drive-throughs in there, so we've got Tractor, Larmaduck and Ferret who need to come in within the next 2 laps, I would have thought. Have a look at the stops real quick. We've got a few 2-stoppers in there. Obviously the safety car has kind of ruined all sense of strategy in this race. Got a lot of squabbling going back here. I really need to see this. Got so much battling. I think his on the Inters is falling back a lot. Oh, as we see Blondie who's locked the rears, and we've got Viz around at the final little section. Looks like Blondie locked the rears and hit into Viz from what I've seen. As Tractor's coming and retired. Wow. I hope he knows that the points go down to P16, so he would have been guaranteed in the points if he just finished this race. Obviously with the drive-through he's just thought, come in and retire, but I think Ferret's coming for his drive-through, down to P14. I think Harry Hill's still lapped in this little train. James Stoss right on the back of current race leader Larmaduck. Obviously still has a drive-through yet to serve, so we'll have to come in probably at the end of this lap on the medium tyres. He's going to struggle to get the end on them as well. Same with Expo. There's still 11 laps to go. That's still like a full medium stint, I would say. We have Blondie falling behind Caliboy. Look forward. Exo Thunder dropping back a little bit down the pack. Currently running the FP4. Let's see if Larmaduck comes in for his drive-through. He doesn't. He must have to come in this lap for it. We're going to look behind. To Exo Thunder. Sprint winner. Pole sitter. See if we can get the move done. Oh, as we have Ted and James having a little kerfuffle as well. Well, I think we saw XPO Live get caught up in there. Same with Joe. Looks like there's a little incident. And look, it's raining a lot, you know. It looks like it is starting to chuck it down. We see Viz overtaking a slick runner. I think it... Oh, we see Chris go off. This could well turn into an intermediate race. If so, Chris Downs and Viz Dino could be in the absolute money. Obviously, we'll see how this unfolds. Looking at turn 1. Ted and James got caught in a little incident. I didn't really see. Ooh, you got Ted at the rear of Lamaduck. Caused a little chain reaction, with James also getting caught up. It's looking like the slicks are starting to struggle. We could well see the intermediates get used. As Lamaduck peels into the pits for his drive-through. We're not going to run on both for too long. Do we have DRS? Yes, we do. So DRS is still enabled, so it's not wet yet. I think once DRS gets disabled, that's when you've got to kind of jump in. We've got a little battle for the lead brewing up between Ted Head and James Stoss. Got about 9 laps to go. Let's have a little glance to my little driver info sheets of paper. Let's have a little fun fact about Ted. He is indeed a wet race specialist. His favourite team and driver is Red Bull and Max. Talks about Max Verstappen going to Aston Martin as well. That I saw from the last season. He's from Birmingham, driver number obviously 67. He just missed out in the championship last season to Exo Thunder, our current reigning champion in the McLaren. So that's about it for Ted. We've got a little bit of James. He's from the United States of America. He's a nice, consistent driver. He got P3 in the championship last season. Obviously, his favourite team is Red Bull, favourite driver Max. Driver number 13. Let's have a little look towards Joe. Have a look. McLaren. He loves to sleep. His favourite team and driver is McLaren Orlando. He's from Christchurch, all the way down the south of England. He's driver number 8, obviously reigning champ. Looking to go back to back. And that's about it for our top 3 little info. Personal info, you know. As we look back to the action, we have Rels on the back of XPO Live. Looks like Lamaduck has pitted again for the Inters. I guess we'll see if DRS is enabled. I didn't really see if it came up or not. As you can see, James on the hards struggling for grip. This Fizz gets a 3-second penalty for track limits. Still yet to see if the Inters is going to work out for Viz. I mean, I don't think it will, because we do see a little Alpine driver swap between Viz and Madge. Oh, we've got Rels getting ahead of XPO Live into P4. Very nicely indeed. I feel like Joe's penalty is going to cost him a place or two. Obviously, Rels in behind. It looks like Madge is boxing for the intermediates. We still do have DRS. So it's not fully intermediate yet, but it could be a little crossover point coming up. I honestly think it's worth putting another set of slicks on. Personally. I mean, I don't know how it feels out on track. But from what I'm seeing, if we do see Ferrer coming into the pits, from what I'm seeing right now, the slicks are still okay, and I feel like, for example, let's monitor the gaps between Caliboy and Viz for the next couple of laps. Then we will definitely see if it is a crossover point. Joe's actually joined the pack for the lead. He needs, for his own, see Ted with a big snap going into the final turn. Looks like Ted may have got his confidence back. after that little hiccup in the sprint race, which cost him a few places. Obviously was in about P2, I think it was, when he spun. Still do have DRS in this race. Are we going to see James go for him? He looks down the inside. Doesn't quite go for it. See Expo about half a second off Rels. Madge on the back of Blondie. She does get the move done on Blondie. Let's have a look into Variant Yalta. Very close between the two. Wheel to wheel racing. Some space given for Blondie. As you do see the Alpine of Madge move up into P12 on the intermediates. Into Piratello we go, watching the top three. There's not really much battles going on anymore. It's more strategy with the intermediates. A little bit of a crossover. It has turned out to be quite an interesting race for strategy. Obviously we've had a VSC, a safety car, some rain involved. So it has shaken it up a little bit for the drivers. Give them a little bit more to think about. So I've seen 5 drivers fall victim with the DNFs, unfortunately. Obviously Gav hitting the pit wall. And we've had Meldrum, Lily, Jack and Tractor all retiring the pit lane. So everyone who does finish this race is indeed guaranteed points. So if Harry Hill just sticks out, he does get points. Luckily for him. Obviously I think he is a lap down. He sits about 20 seconds behind Ferret down in P14. Obviously Ferret getting P7 in the sprint race. It's been caught in a few incidents this race. Unfortunately for him, so he's pretty far down the grid. As of now, obviously 5 laps to go, anything could change. Could be a late safety car, spice things up. Would be very interesting at the end of this race. We do have a yellow flag, I think that's Martin, I think it's Harry Hill actually. Yeah, Brock Lesnar has indeed F5'd himself off the track. So we do see Joe. Ooh, James fell back a little bit off Ted. For Joe's sake, it really needs to get the move done. He is still looking at a podium. TTB Raptors. What's your gamer tag in Raptors? I'm not too sure. Yeah, what is it? I'm guessing it's track down. I'm not sure. Yeah, track down. Yeah, I saw you got a drive through. I'm guessing that kind of ruined your race. Ooh. As you see James get very close to Ted. This battle will heat up at the end. Actually, trying to lap 1 gets smashed. Yeah, there was a lot of chaos in lap 1. I saw a lot of drivers go off into the gravel and stuff. Looked like absolute chaos. There's always next race though. That's the thing. You've got the pace to definitely get up there and challenge as we look towards the lead pack. Obviously Joe needs to, for his sake, try and get ahead of these two and try and pull away to try and get a high finish in this race. Obviously Rels has fell back about 5 seconds to Joe, obviously on the more worn tyres as well, 30 laps old. So you see Chris Downs coming to the pits for a new set of intermediates. Marge has a little hiccup. Into the grass she goes and Chris picks up that position. He says thank you very much and moves up into P11. There's a 6-second penalty. Have a little glance at the penalties. Chris does go off in the background. So you see 13 seconds of the penalties for Kelly Boy. Yeah. To be fair, this looks like it has been a tough race to drive, with a little bit of a greasy surface. But you know, you've had the pace all season as well. You've had some good finishes, so it's all about us looking forward to the next race. I'm not sure what it is. I'll have to have a look at the calendar. I'll have a quick look. But I'm sure you'll bounce back. The next race is Spain, around Barcelona. So See you next week around the same time. Yeah. Spain without the S. It's basically a lap car in front, I'm pretty sure that is. I think it's Ferret actually. Could Ferret spice up the end of this race? Could he get in the way? No, he gets out of the way. Nice and easy. Red Bull driver had a little bit of a dismal race, but he did have a good finish in the sprint, so he'll not be too sad. The P7 in the sprint is definitely the highlight of his Imola round 3. As we look. Again, there's not really been much swapping. Did James get DRS? Yes, he did. Oh, he's good. He looks to the inside. Goes a little bit deep. Can Joe get a move done on the Red Bull here? He's going to look to the outside. There's just no grip. No grip whatsoever. Very demanding conditions for the drivers. As we see Viz get ahead of Caliboy on them Inters. It's looking like the Inters are a little bit better now. Obviously, oh, Caliboy with a big snap there, nearly goes off the track. I missed a few penalties, but we'll see at the end where everyone finishes. Yeah, I think Inters are definitely the call, but I feel like Viz has lost a little bit too much time in this part of the race where the track was way too dry, sorry. For the Inters, he has fallen back. But he is still sitting nicely in P7. Let's have a look at Rel's penalty. So Rel's has got 3 seconds. If XPO Live can get within Rel's penalty window, we could see a little XPO Live P4 on this race. It's got about 8 tenths to go. He's run a very nice race in the Williams. Just seen a few more penalties flying. As we go on to the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. James still hanging on to the back of Ted. Can we see a little move into Tamburello? Not quite just yet. I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a last lap battle. 3 tickets, yeah. Honestly, fair enough track though. If you have been caught in an incident, best thing to do is just chuck it in the ticket and see what happens, you know. And obviously we'll have a lot of clips with also me broadcasting it as well. We've got a few more angles to a few different incidents that will happen. Incidents are inevitable, you know, when you've got 20 cars on the track. There's almost guaranteed collisions and stuff. So it is what it is. This is going to heat up. This is a big battle for the win. This is decisive championship points on the table for all 3 of these drivers. I'm not sure if I did. I saw Rels and Joe have a little touch, but I heard a few. I think Madge said she saw it. If you put a ticket in, then yeah, we'll see it. I'll have a look back through the stream after and see if I've caught it, but I don't think I can remember you and Rels having a little accident. As this is it. This is the final lap, and James. Yeah, no problem, Trevor. James is looking for a move, but I don't think there's enough time left for James. He really needs to get lucky. He's looking for a move, he's pushing. Oh, there's a big lock-up. Can Joe capitalise on the inside? Obviously he does have a penalty. As we see, the McLaren and the Red Bull go side by side. I think Joe just lets James go through to try and chase after the lead. But I think Ted has done the great job of defending for these last however many laps. Since the safety car restart, basically. Oh, Ted's made a big mistake. James sweeps through into the lead. Ted is not going to give this up at all. We're going to go side by side in the Variante. There's a little bit of contact. Ted is into the gravel and he's spun a little bit. Joe takes the on-track lead. But I do think, with this now, I think James is going to take the win. Oh my goodness! James got an illegal overtake. Oh no, there's going to be a lot of stewarding decisions, but we will see Joe, sorry. Wait, Joe takes the win on track. I feel like if there is anything in that, I think James could get that removed, as Ted did also go off the track, so it wasn't really an illegal overtake. Infinity also gets a lot of penalties, so I think the stewards are going to have some work cut out. As we do to the end of this race, a lot of tickets to come. The stewards. However, this has been it. This is Imola round 3 complete, as we look to round 4 around Barcelona next week. Let's just push my strap. Yeah, I didn't really see it, I just saw you get a penalty. I'm sure the stewards will have a look, Mr. Infinity. This brings an end to a very eventful Imola Grand Prix. So, appreciate everyone tuning in, or who has tuned in at all. Views have been up, so thanks everyone. See Expo take the cleanest driver, our fastest lap go Joe. So it looks like Joe has took the race win, but if James does get the penalty removed, then I think James will take that race win. Takes are just a weird one. Infinity had 32 seconds of penalties. I'm not sure that adds up. So that has been the Emilia Romania Grand Prix. So again, thanks everyone for tuning in. Obviously, our new partnership with Sim Racing Setups is just a start. Hopefully, as we keep building and progressing as a league, obviously, just having 2 tiers is incredible. The increase in drivers on the grid as well has been outstanding over the last week. As we look forward to round 4 in Bahrain.